We live in a world that constantly pulls our attention in 100 different directions. Social media, opinions, expectations, they all demand our energy. And before we know it, we feel drained, frustrated, and stuck. But here's the truth. The way we feel, the way we grow, the way we succeed, it all comes down to where we choose to place our focus. When we focus on everything but ourselves, we lose. We compare our journey to someone else's highlight reel, forgetting that success isn't a race, it's a personal mission. The only person worth competing with is the person you were yesterday. So what if we took all the energy we spend worrying about others and redirected it inward? What if, instead of trying to control things outside our reach, we focused on what we can influence? Our mindset, our actions, our purpose. That's where real growth happens. That's when we go from feeling powerless to powerful. Growth isn't comfortable. It's not supposed to be. The best version of yourself is on the other side of discomfort, persistence, and self-discipline. The question is, are you willing to do the work? Because when you focus on yourself, your passion, your values, your goals, you start to attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right outcomes. Your energy shifts, and suddenly the world shifts with you. So today I challenge you, stop wasting energy on things that drain you. Shift your focus, invest in yourself, and watch what happens when you do. When we focus on everything but ourselves, we lose sight of what truly matters. Our attention becomes scattered, our energy drained, and our progress stunted. We live in a world that constantly demands our focus. Social media, news, the opinions of others, and endless comparisons. It's easy to get caught up in measuring ourselves against someone else's success, their achievements, their timeline. But the moment we do that, we surrender control, we give away our power. There is a fundamental truth that we often forget. Energy flows where attention goes. If we invest our time and effort into worrying about what others are doing, we are left with very little for ourselves. Imagine pouring water into multiple cups at the same time. Each cup gets a little, but none is ever full. That's what happens when we spread our focus too thin, when we divide our attention between our goals and someone else's path. We dilute our own potential. But when we choose to focus on ourselves, to shift our energy inward, we begin to unlock something powerful: growth. Growth does not happen when we are constantly looking outward. It happens when we take an honest look at where we are, where we want to be, and what we are willing to do to get there. The most successful people in the world don't waste time comparing themselves to others. They are too busy working on their craft, refining their skills, and improving themselves. Their energy is directed toward what they can control: their mindset, their actions, and their resilience. Many of us fall into the trap of thinking that someone else's success takes something away from us, that if they are ahead, we are somehow behind. But success is not a limited resource. There is no finish line where only a few can win. The only race that matters is the one you run with yourself. The only metric worth measuring is how much you have grown from yesterday, last month, last year. When we focus on our own progress instead of someone else's journey, we start to see real change. But shifting our energy inward is not always easy. It requires discipline. It requires a commitment to tuning out distractions, to silencing the noise, to being intentional with where we place our focus. It requires us to let go of the need for validation from others and trust that we are enough as we are in this moment, even as we work toward who we want to become. There is something incredibly liberating about realizing that you are in control of your own path. You may not be able to control the opportunities that come your way, the circumstances you were born into, or the setbacks you face, but you can always control how you respond. You can choose to spend your time watching others succeed, or you can choose to invest in yourself to develop your skills to become better, stronger, and more prepared for when your moment arrives. Think about the times when you felt the most drained, the most frustrated. Chances are those were the moments when your focus was scattered, when your energy was being pulled in too many directions. Now think about the times when you felt the most powerful, the most in control. Those were likely the moments when you were fully invested in yourself, when you were doing something that mattered to you, when you were aligned with your purpose. That is not a coincidence. When we focus on ourselves, we feel stronger. We move with more intention. We create momentum that carries us forward. The challenge is to stay in that space, To wake up every day and choose to direct your energy towards something that fuels you rather than something that drains you. To recognize when you are slipping into the trap of comparison and shift back to your own journey. Because the truth is, what others are doing has no impact on your ability to succeed. The only thing that truly determines your success is your ability to stay committed to yourself, to your goals, to your growth. There will always be distractions. There will always be people who seem to have more, to achieve faster, to be further along. But none of that matters. What matters is what you choose to do with your time, your energy, your focus. The people who achieve the most are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are simply the ones who stay focused, who put in the work when no one is watching, who measure success by their own standards, not someone else's timeline. So the question is, where are you placing your focus? Are you pouring your energy into things that help you grow, or are you giving it away to things that don't serve you? Are you allowing distractions to dictate your path, or are you taking ownership of your own journey? Because the moment you choose to shift your energy inward, everything changes. The way you feel, the way you move, the way opportunities start to show up. When you focus on yourself, you start to attract the right people, the right moments, the right results. It's not about ignoring the world around you. It's about making a conscious decision to invest in yourself first. To build a foundation so strong that no setback, no comparison, no external noise can shake you. That's how you create lasting success. That's how you become unstoppable. We live in a world that constantly pulls our attention in different directions. We wake up and instantly check our phones, scrolling through highlights of other people's lives, measuring ourselves against carefully curated moments. Before we've even started our own day, we've already let comparison dictate how we feel about ourselves. We compare careers, bodies, relationships, lifestyles, forgetting that every person has a different path, a different timeline, a different purpose. And in doing so, we waste energy that could have been invested in something far more important, ourselves. The moment we shift our energy inward, everything changes. The way we feel, the way we work, the way we grow. It all begins with what we choose to focus on. If we spend our time worrying about what others are doing, we lose valuable time that could have been spent improving ourselves. It's not about ignoring the world around us, but about understanding that the only person we can control is ourselves. The only real competition is who we were yesterday. Many of us feel stuck, not because we lack talent or potential, but because we are too focused on things that drain us. We invest so much time worrying about how we measure up that we forget to ask ourselves the real question: am I better today than I was yesterday? Because that is the only thing that truly matters. If we want to see progress, we have to redirect our energy. Every ounce of effort we put into comparing, doubting, or seeking validation is energy that could have been spent on learning, growing, and becoming stronger. The truth is, we cannot control everything in life. We cannot control what people say about us, the challenges that come our way, or the way the world perceives us. We can control our response. We can control our attitude, our mindset, our effort. Too often, we waste energy trying to control things that are simply beyond our reach. We stress over opinions, outcomes, and circumstances, forgetting that the most powerful thing we can do is focus on what we can influence. Think about the times when you felt the most frustrated, the most drained. Chances are those were moments when you were fixated on something outside of your control. Maybe it was an opportunity you didn't get, a relationship that didn't work out, or a setback that felt unfair. But the people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid obstacles. They are the ones who learn how to shift their energy. They recognize that challenges are inevitable, but how they respond to them is a choice. Growth is never comfortable. It requires us to step outside of what feels safe, to embrace uncertainty, to push ourselves even when we don't feel ready. But too many of us mistake discomfort for a reason to stop. We assume that if something feels difficult, we must not be meant for it. But the truth is, the best version of ourselves is always on the other side of struggle. If we avoid discomfort, we avoid growth. If we wait until we feel completely ready, we'll never take the first step. Every great athlete, artist, entrepreneur, anyone who has ever achieved something remarkable didn't get there because they had it easy. They got there because they were willing to be uncomfortable. They were willing to do the work when no one was watching. They were willing to keep going even when progress felt slow. Success is not about talent alone. It's about resilience. It's about having the discipline to keep improving even when there's no immediate reward. It's about shifting our energy from complaining to creating, from doubting to doing. When we focus on ourselves, when we commit to our own growth, we start to see real change. The distractions fade, the opinions of others matter less, and suddenly we find ourselves moving forward in ways we never thought possible. It's not magic, it's simply the power of focus. Because when we stop wasting energy on things we can't control, we have more energy for the things that truly matter. And when we consistently invest in ourselves, in our skills, in our mindset, we start to attract the right opportunities, the right people, the right results. So the challenge is simple. Shift your energy, let go of comparison, stop trying to control the uncontrollable, focus on what you can do, and watch how everything in your life starts to change. Every day we wake up with a limited amount of energy. How we choose to spend that energy determines the direction of our lives. Yet too often we give it away carelessly. We waste time worrying about what others are doing, measuring our progress against someone else's timeline, stressing over things we cannot control. And in doing so, we drain ourselves of the very energy we need to move forward. The key to growth, to success, to fulfillment is learning to focus that energy where it truly matters, on ourselves. When we focus on everything but our own journey, we get stuck. We compare ourselves to people who are walking entirely different paths, forgetting that their success has nothing to do with our potential. We scroll through endless images of achievements, wealth, and happiness, convincing ourselves that we are somehow behind. But comparison is a losing game. No matter how much we achieve, there will always be someone doing more, earning more, achieving faster. And the moment we let that define our worth, we rob ourselves of the ability to grow at our own pace. The truth is, there is only one real competition in life, the person we were yesterday. That is the only standard that matters. If we are improving, even in the smallest way, we are winning. The challenge is learning to shift our mindset, to stop looking sideways and start looking forward. Because the more time we spend focused on others, the less time we have to build ourselves. The energy we waste on comparison could be spent on growth. The time we spend doubting ourselves could be spent sharpening our skills. When we stop measuring our journey against someone else's, we gain the clarity to move with purpose. But focusing on ourselves does not mean ignoring the world. It means understanding what we can and cannot control. So much of our energy is lost in trying to control things that are simply beyond our reach, other people's opinions, the opportunities we weren't given, the setbacks we didn't expect. We stress over things we have no power to change instead of channeling that energy into what we can influence, our mindset, our discipline, our response to challenges. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never face obstacles. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never face obstacles. They are the ones who learn how to shift their energy away from frustration and toward action. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves to focus on what actually moves us forward. We can't control whether someone else recognizes our efforts, but we can control how hard we work. We can't control whether an opportunity comes our way, but we can control how prepared we are when it does. We can't control how people perceive us, but we can control how we show up every day. That shift in perspective is what separates those who make progress from those who stay stuck. Because the truth is, success is not about external validation, it's about internal commitment. And commitment to growth is never comfortable. If we are waiting for the perfect moment to start, we will be waiting forever. Growth requires discomfort. It demands that we push beyond what feels safe, that we embrace the struggle, that we show up even when we don't feel ready. Too many of us believe that if something is difficult, it must not be meant for us. But the reality is, the best things in life come through challenge. The most successful people are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who kept going when things got hard. Discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that we are moving in the right direction. It means we are stretching, evolving, becoming stronger. Every time we push past resistance, we grow. Every time we choose to show up despite the fear, we move closer to who we are meant to be. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, it's persistence. It's the willingness to do the work when no one is watching, to stay focused when distractions are everywhere, to keep improving even when progress feels slow. When we focus on ourselves, our growth, our discipline, our resilience, we start to attract the right opportunities. We begin to notice that the things we once chased now come to us naturally, not because of luck, but because we have put in the work to become the kind of person who is ready for them. The right energy attracts the right outcomes. When we stop wasting energy on things that drain us and start investing it in ourselves, everything shifts. So the question is, where is your focus? Are you pouring your energy into things that build you? Or are you giving it away to things that don't serve you? Are you allowing distractions to dictate your path, or are you taking ownership of your journey? Because the moment you choose to shift your energy inward, to focus on what you can control, you will begin to see real change. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. Every day we wake up with a choice about where we place our focus, how we use our energy, and what we allow to shape our thoughts. But too often, we give that choice away. We let distractions, comparisons, and circumstances dictate our direction. We allow external noise to cloud our purpose, wasting valuable energy on things that don't serve us, and then we wonder why we feel stuck. The truth is, progress begins the moment we decide to shift our focus inward, to stop looking at what others are doing, stop trying to control what we can't, and start investing fully in our own growth. One of the biggest traps we fall into is comparison. We measure our progress against someone else's timeline, forgetting that every person is on a unique journey. We see someone succeeding faster, achieving more, appearing happier, and we start to question ourselves. But comparison is a game that no one ever wins. No matter how much we accomplish, there will always be someone doing more, achieving sooner, or reaching higher. And if we allow that to dictate how we feel about our own journey, we will never feel like we are enough. The only true competition in life is the person you were yesterday. That is the only standard that matters. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you improving? That is the real measure of success. The moment we stop looking sideways and start focusing forward, we gain clarity. We stop wasting energy on what others are doing and start using that energy to become better. Because the time spent comparing could be time spent building, creating, and evolving. But focusing on ourselves doesn't mean ignoring the world. It means recognizing what we can and cannot control. So much of our energy is lost in trying to control things that are beyond our reach. Other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, missed opportunities. We stress over things we have no power to change instead of putting that energy into what we can influence. Our actions, our discipline, our mindset. The most successful people are not the ones who never face obstacles. They are the ones who learn to redirect their energy, shifting from frustration to action. We can't control whether someone else acknowledges our hard work, but we can control how much effort we put in. We can't control whether an opportunity comes today, but we can control how prepared we are when it does. We can't control how people perceive us, but we can control how we show up every single day. And when we choose to focus on what we can control, everything changes. Because real growth isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about creating them through consistent action. And that growth is never comfortable. If we expect success to come easily, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. The reality is, every step forward will come with challenges. There will be moments when we doubt ourselves, when progress feels slow, when the work feels endless. But growth requires discomfort. It demands that we step outside what feels safe, that we keep going even when the path isn't clear. Too often we mistake struggle for failure, when in reality, struggle is proof that we are growing. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable has faced obstacles. They weren't successful because it was easy. They were successful because they refused to quit. They understood that persistence matters more than talent, that consistency is more powerful than motivation. Success is not about being the smartest or the most gifted. It's about being the most resilient. It's about showing up even when no one is watching, putting in the work when there's no immediate reward, and trusting that every small step forward adds up over time. And something powerful happens when we commit to that growth. The energy we put into ourselves begins to attract the right opportunities. The more we invest in developing our skills, our mindset, and our purpose, the more aligned we become with success. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's the direct result of where we choose to place our focus. When we operate from a place of purpose and intention, we stop chasing the wrong things and start attracting the right ones. So the question is, where is your energy going? Are you spending it on things that help you grow, or are you giving it away to distractions that hold you back? Are you focused on what you can control, or are you wasting time on things that drain you? Because the moment you shift your energy inward, the moment you commit to your own growth, everything begins to change. And when you do that, when you truly focus on yourself, there is nothing that can stand in your way. Every single day, we are given the same 24 hours, the same opportunity to decide where we place our energy, what we focus on, and how we move forward. Yet too often, we allow those hours to be dictated by things that drain us rather than build us. We spend time worrying about what others think, chasing external validation and stressing over things that are outside of our control. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of the energy we need to truly grow. The moment we choose to shift our focus inward, to stop looking outward for approval and start investing in ourselves, everything begins to change. One of the biggest distractions in life is comparison. We see someone else moving faster, achieving more, and we start to question ourselves. We convince ourselves that we are falling behind, that we are not enough, that we should be further along. But comparison is a trap. It shifts our focus from progress to competition, from growth to self-doubt. And the truth is, there is no single path to success, no timeline that defines when we should reach our goals. Every person is running a different race, and the only one that truly matters is the one we are running with ourselves. When we stop measuring our worth against someone else's achievements, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters, our own improvement. The only real competition is the person we were yesterday. If we are learning, growing, and pushing ourselves to be better, then we are moving in the right direction. Progress isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's messy. But as long as we are moving forward, we are succeeding. The key is to shift our energy away from comparison and toward growth. But part of focusing on ourselves is understanding what we can and cannot control. Too much energy is wasted on things that are beyond our reach. What others say, what others do, the opportunities we weren't given. We stress over circumstances that we have no power to change, instead of directing that energy toward the things we can control, our effort, our discipline, our mindset. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never face obstacles. They are the ones who learn to shift their energy away from frustration and toward action. We can't control whether people recognize our hard work, but we can control how much effort we put in. We can't control every opportunity that comes our way, but we can control how prepared we are when the right one does. We can't control what others think of us, but we can control the way we show up in the world, the way we push forward despite the noise. When we make that shift, when we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and focus instead on what is within our power, we begin to see real change. And real change is never comfortable. Growth demands that we step outside of what feels safe, that we lean into discomfort, that we keep moving even when the path is uncertain. Too often we assume that if something is difficult, it must not be meant for us. But the truth is, every great achievement, every major breakthrough comes with struggle. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid difficulty. They are the ones who embrace it. They understand that discomfort is a sign of progress, that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Success is not about being the most talented or the most gifted. It's about being the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most committed to showing up every day and doing the work even when no one is watching. It's about staying focused when distractions are everywhere, about believing in yourself even when progress feels slow. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is not luck, it's persistence. It's the ability to push forward even when motivation fades, to trust the process even when results aren't immediate. And when we make that commitment to ourselves, something powerful happens. The energy we invest in our growth starts to attract the right opportunities. The more we work on becoming the best version of ourselves, the more aligned we become with success. It's not about chasing external rewards. It's about becoming the kind of person who is ready for them. The right opportunities, the right people, the right moments, they don't come from luck. They come from preparation, they come from focus, they come from the decision to invest in ourselves fully. So the question is, where is your energy going? Are you spending it on things that make you better, or are you giving it away to distractions that hold you back? Are you focused on what you can control, or are you wasting time on things that drain you? Because the moment you shift your energy inward, the moment you commit to your own growth, everything begins to change. And when you do that, when you truly focus on yourself, there is nothing that can stand in your way.